Our next guest is Congresswoman Yvette Clarke. She served as the vice chair of the Energy and Commerce Committee in the previous Congress, and she currently chairs the caucus on smart cities, one of my favorite topics. Congresswoman Clarke, great to see you. Thank you, as always, for joining us when we, get into these wonky topics. But as we think about, the challenge right now, and we've got an inflection point politically, but we think about the environment, we think about the economic duress in the country, we think about technology being a bridge in some of this. What would a reset for you look like in this, and what do we need to get right?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me again, Steve. Great to be with you. I think this is a once in a lifetime opportunity for us to advance ourselves as a civil society in the 21st century. The great convergence has already occurred. It's for us now as lawmakers, as legislators, to catch the wave, if you will. We know that the climate crisis, the pandemic, the economic distress, it's all converged simultaneously. And with that knowledge, we know that new industries must evolve to meet the moment. And energy is at the heart of that. We know that this administration, the Biden-Harris administration, has put forth very bold and innovative ideas in the form of executive orders that should spark that type of legislative initiative on the Hill. And I'm prepared to do so. I think that for future generations, for current stakeholders and future generations, we need to get this right with respect to the rollout of renewable energy sources, making sure that we end practices that continue to exacerbate the conditions for climate change, while at the same time putting people to work in new industry that will be sustainable for generations to come, and looking at how we identify key constituencies across this nation that have been left behind. They have been, if you will, damaged by the lack of attentiveness that we've had to equity in our society, and use this opportunity to provide that, knowing that we will build out an infrastructure for renewable energy delivery, making sure that those communities are not left behind, but are part of the expansion of the infrastructure that we need to put in place. All of this is what we are working on in terms of legislative initiatives on Capitol Hill right now. And it's unfortunately, it's coming out of crisis, but within crisis are massive opportunities.
Representative Clarke, I really appreciate the scaffolding in that. And, my computer here has been popping all the time, in this blizzard of executive orders from President Biden and his team on equity, race, on energy, on climate. Every topic we're discussing about has become, the moment, this blizzard of obsessions and trying to sort of turn the page the Biden administration has done. But let me ask you something, and I don't know how it's going to come out, but I'm fascinated by your work in smart cities as well. And I think something we don't often talk about, we think linearly, okay, we need to move to renewables and clean energy and greener sources. We get all that. But another part of the environmental picture that the IT sector helps with is data, 5G, retrofitting cities and urban cities so that what makes them smart is their ability to make smarter choices to conserve. Conservation's a key part of that. So I'm wondering, does your interest on the energy side of this in smart cities overlap in a way that we have this whole new platform of conservation coming and we haven't even really thought through very well?
Well, that's it, Steve. That is the future. It is that convergence of technology, of energy distribution, of, as you've said, smart cities. The Internet of Things enables us to connect the dots in ways that we haven't before. There have been gaping holes in the deployment of broadband, in the erection of Wi-Fi and 5G capabilities. This is an opportunity for us to really use those data sets and build out the infrastructure to make those data sets comprehensive so that we meet the needs of our homes, our families, our communities, be they urban, suburban, or rural. But we need to make the investment. We need to make sure that, again, what this pandemic has laid bare are the disparities, the areas of the nation where children aren't able to access remote learning. There's work to be done there, right? There are circumstances where people need to be able to conserve water and conserve energy because, of course, we have to wash our hands in a pandemic. If you don't have water, you don't have access to clean water, you're not efficient in your use of water. That's a commodity that we can't take for granted. Technology can help us there. Whether it's making sure that your home is insulated from the heat and regulating that heat. Technology provides that opportunity there. So as you rightly stated, Steve, this is a eureka moment, if you will, in the same way that we saw the first industrialization of this nation. We are going through a tech revolution as well.
Well, you just laid out something that's so important. If you're networked in, if you're connected, you get a lot of these benefits. If you're not, and a lot of folks that have not, children, communities, we have, we talk about the rural-urban divide, but we have people in urban settings that are not connected in this way. And I guess my question to you is, what's your gut feeling? Do you feel like we're going to be able to actually do the things now? Is this an FDR moment where rewiring the social contract, rewiring people literally into this and getting greater connectivity and connection is going to substantially, systemically change that way in which we have had haves and have-nots, people that have been excluded from our social equation?
This is certainly the time to do it, Steve. We have the will, we have the information, we have the data, we have an opportunity. If we do, we are moving our nation into the 21st century, poised to dominate for generations, the world's economy. And if we don't, shame on us. We're stuck in the Stone Age. I think that, I joke about this all the time. I remember when Y2K was about to occur and we were about to change over from 1999 to 2000. And it was this big rush and scare about what that would mean, how life would, just fall off the precipice, right? The real Y2K is 2021.
Yeah.
And what we do to take this leap of faith, to use the knowledge, expertise, and talents we have, the knowledge that we have, the tools that we have to advance our humanity in a way in which we protect our planet, we provide opportunities for everyone, regardless of race, ethnicity, background, station in life, to be able to grab hold of an economy that will expand and that will be sustainable for generations to come. So I'm excited about it. I think that there are enough folks who are knowledgeable. Everything is transparent about what needs to be done. Nothing's in the dark. It's the will. And I believe we have the will on Capitol Hill to make these moves.
Well, Representative Yvette Clarke, thank you so much. I mean, both energy, clean energy, smart cities, all my favorite topics. I hope you'll come back so we can continue the conversation. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, Steve.